Sit with me. Come closer. Let the noise of the world fall away. Today, remember this rule. Never let them see you cry. Not when they accuse you, not when they strip everything you were, not when the whole room waits for you to break. Keep your face like stone. Save your tears for the dark, for the silence, for the walls that will never repeat what they hear. That is the rule. That is the only armor no one can take. The year is 1793. Paris, October. The city smells of rain and iron. A revolution has swallowed a king, and now it is hungry for a queen. The place is the Revolutionary Tribunal, a long hall with wooden benches packed with spectators who came to watch a woman fall. They want tears. They want begging. They want to see the proud Austrian princess crumble like old bread. But the woman who walks in does not give them that. She gives them nothing. Her name is Marie Antoinette. She is 47 years old. Her hair, once golden and piled high with jewels, is now gray and cut short. She wears a plain white dress. No crown, no silk, no title. Just a number. Widow Capet. And in 3 days, this woman will stand before her judges and refuse, absolutely refuse, to let them see her cry.
But to understand that moment, you must go back. You must go back to the night everything began to crack. October 1789, Versailles. The palace glows with 1,000 candles, but the glow is a lie. Outside the Golden Gates, 7,000 people march through the mud. They are hungry. Bread costs more than a week's wages. They chant one name, over and over, and it is not the king's name. It is hers. They call her the Austrian woman. They call her Madame Deficit, a nickname that blames her alone for a debt she did not create. The word deficit means a great lack of money, a hole in the treasury that no one can fill. They pin it on her because she is foreign, because she is visible, because she is easier to hate than a system. The gates break at dawn. The crowd pours into the marble halls. Guards are killed. Marie Antoinette runs through dark corridors in her nightgown, barefoot, holding her children. She reaches the king's room. The door shuts. She is alive, but Versailles is lost. The family is taken to Paris, to the Tuileries Palace, and they are prisoners now in all but name. She did not know it then, standing in that cold corridor with her son's hand in hers. But the woman who loved gardens and music and small private joys was already dying. What would replace her was something harder, something that would need to be hard. And the world was not finished testing how hard.
Ask yourself, if they took everything from you tonight, your home, your name, your comfort, what face would you show them in the morning? 4 years pass. 4 years of slow erasure. The monarchy falls in August 1792. The king is tried in January 1793. He is found guilty. He is executed. Marie Antoinette watches none of it. They do not let her. But she knows. She knows the sound of the drums. She knows what silence follows. She is locked in the Temple, a medieval tower in the east of Paris. The walls are thick. The windows are barred. She shares 2 small rooms with her children and her sister-in-law. They eat plain food. They speak in whispers. The guards watch every step. Then, in August 1793, they separate her from her children. Her son is 10. Her daughter is 14. Marie Antoinette holds the boy. He cries. She does not. Not in front of the guards. Not in front of the officials reading the transfer order. She kisses his forehead. She lets go.
She walks out of the room without turning back, because if she turns back, she will not be able to move her legs. The guards note in their report, the widow Capet showed no emotion. They are wrong. She showed nothing. There is a difference. And that difference is the whole story of this episode.
They move her to the Conciergerie. You must understand this place. The Conciergerie is a prison beneath the old royal palace on the Ile de la Cité in the heart of Paris. They call it the antechamber of death, the waiting room before the guillotine. The cells are damp. The air smells of river water and mold. Prisoners hear the carts rolling over the cobblestones above, carrying the condemned to the scaffold. Marie Antoinette's cell is small. A narrow bed, a wooden chair, one window too high to see through properly. A single guard sits inside the room, watching her day and night. She cannot be alone, not for 1 minute. And yet she must find a way to grieve without being seen. She learns to cry with her eyes open, staring at the wall, so the guard thinks she is merely thinking. She learns to swallow the sound. She learns to be stone. And then, on the 14th of October, 1793, they come for her. The trial begins.
The Revolutionary Tribunal is not a court of law as you would understand it. There is no real defense. The verdict is decided before the questions are asked. The judges sit on a raised platform. The jury, 12 men, sit beside them. The public gallery is full. People paid a small coin to get a seat. They murmur, they point. They want a spectacle. Marie Antoinette enters between two guards. She walks slowly. Her back is straight. She sits on a wooden chair in the center of the hall. She does not look at the crowd. She looks at the judges. Her face is calm, empty almost, like a mask carved from pale marble. The prosecutor reads the charges. There are many. Treason, conspiracy with foreign powers, sending money to Austria, plotting against the Republic. The words pile up, heavy and formal. Marie Antoinette listens. She does not interrupt. When they ask her to respond, she speaks in short, clear sentences. I do not recognize the authority of this tribunal. I was a queen, and I acted as a queen. I am a mother, and I acted as a mother. Her voice does not shake, not once. The spectators lean forward, waiting for the crack. It does not come. Ask yourself, could you sit in a room full of people who want you dead and speak without your voice breaking? Could you look them in the eye and give them nothing? The second day is worse. Witness after witness takes the stand. Servants, guards, politicians. They tell stories. Some are true, some are invented, some are twisted beyond recognition. Marie Antoinette listens to each one. She corrects a date here, a fact there. She never raises her voice. She never says, "That is a lie," with fury. She says, "That is not what happened," in the same flat, quiet tone she has used for every answer. The crowd grows restless. They expected fire. They expected the proud Habsburg princess to rage, to weep, to beg. She gives them a wall. And a wall is more terrifying than a scream, because you cannot break it. You can only stand in front of it and feel small. Then comes Hébert, Jacques-René Hébert, a journalist, a radical, a man who built his career on hatred of the Queen. He stands. He opens his mouth, and what he says next is so cruel, so far beyond decency, that even the other prosecutors look away. The words are too vile to repeat here. I will not say them. You do not need to hear them. But the hall hears them, and the hall goes silent.
Every eye turns to the woman in the white dress. They wait. They lean forward. They want to see the crack. They want to hear the sob, the scream, the collapse. This is the moment they paid their coin for. The moment the proud queen becomes small. The moment the stone shatters and the crowd roars and the story writes itself. Marie Antoinette does not cry.
She pauses. One breath, two. Then she turns her head slowly toward the jury. She looks at the 12 men, and she speaks. Her voice is low, steady. She says, "If I do not answer, it is because nature refuses to answer such an accusation made against a mother. I appeal to every mother in this room." That is all. No screaming, no sobbing, no collapse. Just one sentence, delivered like a blade laid gently on a table. And something shifts in the whole. The women in the gallery, the market women, the washerwomen, the mothers who came to gawk, they go quiet. Some of them look down. The accusation dies in the air. Hébert sits. He does not speak again. Marie Antoinette turns back to the judges. Her face is the same as it was 5 minutes ago. Stone, still, unreadable. But here is what no one in that hall sees. Here is what the guards will not write in their reports. That night, back in the cell at the Conciergerie, the door locks. The guard sits in his chair and dozes. Marie Antoinette sits on the edge of her narrow bed. She presses her hands together. She presses them so hard the knuckles go white. And then, silently, with no sound at all, the tears come. They roll down her cheeks. They fall on the white fabric of her dress. She does not wipe them. She lets them fall. She lets them fall because there is no one here to see. No crowd, no judges, no Hébert. Just the damp walls and the river sound and the dark. She cries for her children. She cries for the boy they took from her arms. She cries for the husband she will never see again. She cries for the girl she was at 14, arriving in France with a trunk full of dresses and a heart full of nervous hope. She cries until there is nothing left, and then she stops. She dries her face with the back of her hand. She lies down. She sleeps. Tomorrow, she must be stone again. The third day, October 16th, the jury returns. They do not take long. They never take long. The verdict is read. Guilty on all counts. Treason, conspiracy, depletion of the national treasury. The sentence is death by guillotine tomorrow morning. Marie Antoinette stands. She hears the words. She does not flinch. She does not gasp. She inclines her head slightly, as if acknowledging a message that does not concern her. The judges watch her face, searching for something. Fear, rage, despair, anything that would confirm their power over her. They find nothing. She turns and walks toward the door. Her steps are even. Her chin is level. The crowd in the gallery murmurs, confused. They wanted a scene. They got a statue. Ask yourself, when everything is already lost, when the ending is written and sealed, what is left to protect? What is the one thing they cannot take unless you hand it over? Back in the cell, the priest comes. He offers last rites. She accepts, quietly. She writes a letter to her sister-in-law. The letter is short. The handwriting is steady. She writes about her children. She writes that she is calm. She writes that she forgives her enemies. She does not write about fear. She does not write about anger. She signs it. She folds it. She sets it on the table.
Then the guard enters and says it is time to prepare. The morning of October 16th, 1793. The sky is gray. The air is cold. They cut her hair short so the blade will not catch. She does not resist. They bind her hands behind her back. She does not resist. They lead her out of the conciergerie and into the street. A cart waits. She climbs in. She sits upright. The cart rolls through the streets of Paris. The crowds line the road. They shout. They jeer. They throw words like stones. Marie Antoinette looks straight ahead. She does not look at them. She does not acknowledge them. Her face is the same face she wore in the tribunal, the same face she wore when Hébert spoke, the same face she wore when they took her children. Stone, still, distant, as if she is already somewhere else, somewhere they cannot follow.
The cart stops. The scaffold rises. She stands. She climbs the steps. She does not look back at the city. She does not look at the crowd. There is one moment, one small moment, where her foot catches on the stair. A man reaches to steady her. She pulls away. She does not need help. She climbs the last step alone. I will not describe what follows. You know what follows. The blade is not a story I will tell you in detail. Instead, see this: an empty platform, a gray sky, a silence so vast it swallows the noise of 10,000 people. And then, slowly, the crowd begins to disperse. The show is over. They got what they came for. Or did they? They got the body. They did not get the tears. They did not get the begging. They did not get the crack in the stone. And perhaps that is the one thing that haunts them, walking home through the October mud. The woman won, in the only way left to win. Here is the rule, and I will say it plainly. Dignity is not something they can give you or take from you. It is the last door you lock from the inside. Marie Antoinette lost her crown, her country, her husband, her children, her freedom, and her life. But in that tribunal, in that cart, on those steps, she kept one thing. She kept her face. She kept the boundary between her grief and their entertainment. She never gave them the satisfaction of watching her break. She saved her tears for the dark. She saved her trembling for the silence of a locked cell. And that choice, that small, stubborn, invisible choice, was the one act of power no revolution could touch. Never let them see you cry. Not because your tears are shameful, but because they are yours. They belong to you and to the dark and to the walls that keep your secrets. That is the rule. That is the armor. That is the last throne no one can dismantle. That's the story. I don't judge. I just teach.